allowing the call. Since the last time I spoke on this part of the bill, I've actually tabled an amendment, so I would really like to speak to that amendment. And the reason I tabled the amendment actually came from other contributions that have been made in this House. So we have been listening to this debate and contributing to it, I think, in a fair and reasonable way, because there are concerns about the way this particular part of the bill has been promoted. The clause that I want to really focus on, the one that I have an amendment to, is clause 14. Now, I know my colleague Brendan Burns has an amendment to actually remove this clause, but if that doesn't succeed, he's actually got an amendment that suggests that the commissioners actually be the current ECAN councillors, that they be appointed to the role of commissioners, which I think would have a very good signal, would give a very good signal to the people of Canterbury that at least the people that they elected to these positions would hold this position through to the establishment of the water plan. And I actually think that there's a certain degree of neatness around that is worthy of greater debate and consideration in this environment. However, given that I have a sneaking suspicion that the government will vote down that particular amendment, I have another amendment which asks for us to look at adding additional criteria to the appointment of commissioners. So let me read clause 14 at the moment. Paragraph 1 states, the responsible ministers must appoint commissioners who collectively have knowledge of and expertise in relation to the following matters: organisational change and freshwater management, and local authority governance and management, and tikanga Māori as it applies in the Canterbury region and its people. Well, that's all very well and good, but actually the Regional Council does more than undertake its responsibilities with respect to water. So I'm actually promoting 3 additional clauses to go into that paragraph 1, and so that collectively there is a knowledge of and expertise in relation to the additional matters which I've set out in my amendment, which state environmental protection and integrated public transport planning and sustainable development. And I've actually inserted them between the first 3 of the matters that are already set out there in order to highlight that they have an importance which is relevant to the ones that are already established there. I understand, because the Minister, when he gave us his briefing yesterday at 11:45 a.m, 15 minutes before the government made the announcement, the organisational change was obviously top of mind for the Minister. Organisational change was what he said was the most important element of the new set of commissioners that would be appointed. But I think if we actually remove sight or any language that refers to the environmental protection obligations of the regulator, it's absolutely beyond my comprehension that these commissioners could be left with the view that their primary responsibility is around organisational change and freshwater management and blow the rest. And actually, when one looks at Wyatt Creech's report, then it does make it very clear. That's why they wanted to have a separate authority to deal with water, and which is why I think the government's actually going to do that behind the scenes if they get back in for the next election. And I think that's a shame, because I think there should be a lot more openness and integrity in this whole process than this particular process has allowed. Now, let me just refer to another element of the Creech report. And it states this: Christchurch City's desire to become a unitary authority and to, quote, master of its own expanded destiny, unquote, continues to detract from the relationship. Well, what's the relationship going to be between the city and the commissioners if that is the case? Christchurch City Council has never, ever debated as a council the establishment of a unitary authority in Christchurch. That is the Mayor's view. That's his point of view. And it may have been a view held by previous mayors, but that is not the view of the Christchurch City Council. And I think it's wrong for us to be sitting here debating under urgency changes to legislation, Mr Chairman. Mr Chairman.
Ruth Dyson, the Honourable thereof.